Yeah, that I wish you could just have that all year round. I mean, I suppose a little much to ask, but is it too much to ask?
I really don't think it's that much in little things. I mean, you don't necessarily have to be somebody who is, building up 1,000 companies and working your ass off to do this one thing when you have other things in your life to dedicate it to. I mean, is it really so much to ask to buy a bigger instead of a Pepsi the next time you're in the supermarket? Is it really that much to ask you to just try the last couple
it's a lot to ask because of pride.
True.
That's why. I mean,
that's a wrong kind of pride. That's my point. You're supposed to be having pride in your country.
Yeah.
It might be the wrong kind of pride, but it's the pride right now.
Yeah, things become a lot to ask when even if it's something that's simple. When it comes to pride, like people, pride prevents people from doing a lot of things,
Yeah.
And like something as simple as that. Just because I just get feel weird buying that, I get feel, not cool. So I'm just going, and that's a situation of pride right there, and they just won't buy it because of that. And as simple as it seems, pride will make people not do a lot of things or do a lot of things.
I have the perfect example. I remember when I was going into, when I was in prep school, I was in grade 5 or 6. I remember my mom bought some leader mode shoes for me. You see me? Leader mode. Jamaican leather. Yeah. You see me?
That's something I haven't seen in a long ass time though.
But I remember she bought me and it was like the ugliest pair of shoes I ever seen in my life. I was like, "Tell mommy, don't make me wear them, man. Don't make me wear them." And I remember my uncle brought down some Clarks for me, like a year before, but they were too big for me. And best believe some make them thing they fit. Stuffy in some socks and wear them cause I say, boy, I really want to wear them leader mode thing, Cause them look away, see me? As in, no leader mode shoes look really good, alright? So if you're buying leather shoes, like, go to leader mode, because, they're making nice looking shoes now. But then, like, especially the schoolers shoes, they probably had good shoes. They probably had nice looking shoes back then.
Those
but
are the ones that you really saw in the store, though.
Yeah, well, you would have to go to, like, the depot, because they have, like, a place in Spanish Town where they actually manufacture and they have, like, a store inside the factory kind of thing. But, yeah, so I think pride is a thing that, you can't discredit. That's why I'm saying if you're making something, at least make it look good.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's ever that simple though. Like I said before, it's a situation where, say, we'll take away my examples that I made before about the companies, because what you're talking about here is the design of, not necessarily how a product is packaged, but the product itself. I mean, sometimes people look at they want to create a product that's functional, that it has a reason to exist, but they're just not very good designers. And in that case, I think, hire somebody who designs and then go ahead and build your product around it, because these days, not every company that releases, say, clothing, like all the big clothing lines that everybody loves and everybody's a fan of, it's not the people who own the company who are the people who manufacture the clothes that are designing them,
Yeah.
Companies like Gucci and any brand name company that you can really think of, any big brand name clothing company or like accessory company that you can think of, they all the shoe stores that everybody loves. You think Clarks that them design them own shoes?
No,
they hire
like even that
fashion illustrators to do their job. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Chanel started out being that one woman, Coco Chanel, doing her own design and her own sewing and everything. But it's not like that anymore. You have your fashion designers, you have your manufacturers, it's all separated. And it's okay to do that in Jamaica too. One man don't have to do every job.
Yeah. True. I mean, like even that, well, it's probably off, but even that whole thing with Cedella Marley, designing in conjunction with Puma.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like, Yeah, maybe. I mean, boy, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say.
Dude, my thing is, I just don't think that we can ignore certain facts, right? Yes, we have been exposed to certain things, and I mean, a lot of what's in our country right now is being influenced by America and what have you and whatever. But the reality of it all is that people always try to peg this idea that Jamaicans are bad man and them want to buy the foreign things because they think that the Jamaican stuff is. And really and truly, dude, honestly, I want to tell you one thing right now I really truly believe in. It's just another documentary called Art and Copy. They're saying that something can taste like garbage, something can not function properly, but when it's branded properly, it seems like the best thing in the world.
Exactly.
I will start calling names,
Let's go use it.
No, there are so many companies out there, though, and I'm talking foreign companies, that the people bring them crap to me, and I'm like, nope. Just because it's big name don't mean it's good. There's so many Hollywood movies out there, I'm just like, okay, just because you put a big budget behind it don't mean it's good. Like, I think one example that a friend brought to me like a couple days ago was they were talking about this new The Lorax movie that came out earlier this year, and I was like, shut up. Because in 1972, you had a fairly cheap, very, very short, version of that movie that was good. Yeah. It was well produced.
Wait, that's Dr. Seuss's
the Dr. Seuss The Lorax, okay?
I mean, I watched that movie. It was decent.
It was decent when you don't really think about it, though. Like when you, I think, like if I was to sit down and explain to you like all the things that are wrong, let me put it this way: it's like if you took the Lorax, like the original 1972 movie, and went, why don't we make it Wall-E?
Okay, all right, I get it.
That movie took into consideration the whole idea of sometimes if you try and take down a big name company, people get fired. This big company that's in the new Lorax movie wasn't in the original.
Okay, wait, maybe we should give a little backstory for people.
Alright, well, for people who aren't familiar with the Lorax, it's a story that was written by Dr. Seuss, as we said. It's the original story essentially is about a man named the Onslaw. Well, we're assuming it's a man, because you don't really see his face throughout the original story. You just see like his hands, which are gloved or something, and he tells his story in like a flashback about how he just saw all of these trees, these truffalo trees, which are like fir trees, and thought, hey, these would be perfect material for making my product. The Knead, I think it's called. And Knead or something. Yes. Yeah. And he's just like, let me make these products. He chops down all these trees and starts making this product that he doesn't seem to understand what it is, but he knows that if he sells them off, it'll be good for the economy in the area that he's living in. But the more he cuts down these trees, and it's not just the trees, but like the factories themselves are having an effect on the water around the area, and it's just drying out all the land around them, and it's killing off all the, the indigenous animals to the area. And the Lorax stands up as, the voice of the area saying, you can't do this because you're killing the environment. But the thing about the original movie is that it's not really a movie, it's just like a special. It's about 20-something minutes long. But the thing about the original is that it had that environmental theme, but knew how to bring up two sides of the argument. Like you're obviously supposed to be on the side of the Lorax because this is all, like I said, told in flashback, and the Onslaw is saying, to this kid who's asking about this story, that our environment will have hope if you plant this seed. Yeah. The problem that I have with the new movie, there's nothing ambiguous about it. It's just, it throws in this whole new big corporation scheme where the leader of the corporation is like as evil can be, where they're selling bottled air or something, and it's just, the movie is so confused about who the protagonist is, because the Lorax is rude in this movie, you know, says some really disgusting things about people and is kidnapping the ones, but it's trying to be funny. It does what DreamWorks movies do, in my opinion, where they look good, but the jokes are kind of cheap, and it's all over the place. I mean, this movie talks down these big corporation like schemes, and at the same time it had like 70 something tie-ins in terms of like corporate tie-ins to like, I think like things like Ford and IHOP, you know.
So then what is this saying about Jamaica and
I was
link this back.
Let me link it back to what I was saying before, which is just because it's big name don't mean it good. Just because people spend a lot of money and make a lot of money from it, because this is like the highest rated or highest selling Dr. Seuss movie in history. It's the biggest one of any adaptation of any Dr. Seuss movie. It's bigger than The Grinch. It's bigger than The Grinch. It's bigger than Horse and Hears a Who. It's huge. But in my opinion, just because it make a lot of money don't mean it good. It doesn't seem to understand what it's saying. It doesn't seem to understand where it's going. It looks nice.
And you're saying that's what corporate Jamaica is?
Sometimes. Not just corporate Jamaica, but corporate companies from other places that come into Jamaica, and Jamaicans buying into. Look here, nobody can tell me some Burger King fries taste better than Island Grill fries, you know.
True. That. Yo,
for our foreign listeners.
Yeah, fine. But you can't find more than one drive-through Island Grill in Kingston right now.
For our foreign listeners, please understand that when fries were invented, the Island Grill fries were put in a glass container and preserved for a time period where someone could wield its power to its full potential.
Slap boy.
Island Grill discovered these fries, have been spreading them quite well and recreating them quite well. It's the best fries you guys will ever taste.
I've never had any fries as good.
You need to. You're missing out on life.
No, honestly,
I'm a French fry fanatic because I love Burger King fries, don't get me wrong, but they don't have nothing on Island Grill fries.
I really feel sorry for foreigners. Like they'll never know.
I hope they will know. I hope Jamaicans feel proud enough of their country that them take the money that them spending on KFC and them spending on Burger King and they bring it on to Island Grill, spend some money over there so that Island Grill can move itself up to a different country.
I think you pretty the Island Grill is not the official sponsor of Jamaica 50. It's KFC.
My goodness. Then I
Oh no.
Rough.
What is going on? The Colonel. Colonel.
Yo, Colonel is the official sponsor of Jamaica 50.
Kentucky
We're
Fried
not
Chicken.
known for our fried chicken in this country. Alright, this is a vegetarian talking.
Even jerk.
Jamaicans can fry chicken. Don't get me wrong. But we are not known for our fried chicken. Jamaicans are known for jerking things.
I mean,
Island Grill says jerked food. And not just jerked food either. We sell, like, it sells yard food. There's, you know, you get the dumplings, you get the red pea soup. You know, if you're a vegetarian like me, they have the soy yaba thing.
True.
You know, you get your soy meat. Like, and it's done in a style that's very Jamaican food.
Rotted. Boy.
And
it hurt my heart for no say a KFC. The official. As in, what is that? Anyway, go on through.
It's not right. That's just
That's like boy, it's a corporate thing, because McDonald's sponsor the American team, no?
No, McDonald's is an American company. They can sponsor America all the.
True. Yeah, that even make more sense. But I mean,
no.
KFC.
There's no argument for that. I'm sorry, you can't say McDonald's versus KFC in this situation because.
No, you want to know what I saw?
McDonald's is an American company.
You want to know what I saw? Somebody there was this banner that was this long banner, and like they had like some like different colors and like patterns on it, and like they had like the Rasta colors at one point, and like shortly after the Rasta colors was the KFC logo.
Whoa.
Fun out, lava splash.
I was like,
Hey, for people who are also not familiar with this kind of culture and might not understand the intense problem that comes with this kind of thing.
we're gonna have to burn them out.
It's not just it's not just a matter of corporations, imposing on like culture. It's not just a matter of the United States imposing on Jamaican culture. This is a matter of Rastas do not stand for the consumption of animal flesh. So who the hell are you supposed to be walking around with a Rasta flag with the reggae colors, the Rasta colors, and it's sponsored by KFC?
Another thing I hear to some people railing about the whole of Jamaica 50 celebrations and nobody no said nothing about Rasta.
A real thing. So no, that hurt me still. That hurt me still.
The thing though is it's kind of hard to talk about that directly and not stir controversy. And the Jamaica 50, a big part of it is trying to pull together as a community, even if it's temporary, to try and do that as much as possible. And I feel like as much as it should be spoken about, because it is a big part of our culture, it is a big part of the way this country has shaped itself, it's controversial.
Boy, dude, as in, like, I don't even think we know to the extent, because remember that whole thing about, Matthew, remember that whole thing where the government was killing Rastas
No, as in, that was something that happened, and still, to this day, there is violence against people who are Rastas in this country for the sake of just them walking around with locks. Look here, you don't even need to be a Rasta to have locks. And you don't have to be a Rasta to be, targeted by people, even if it's in a non-violent way, because you have dreadlocks.
Yeah.
The space of time where I was walking around with dreadlocks, and let's not get too far into why I don't anymore. But when I did have dreadlocks, I was targeted by people in very, very vocal ways long before they ever talked to me about what my belief system is. Yeah. It was just, what's this girl walking out with natty dread? Because it's not even like, I had the neat comb up, like tight locks, like you go to the hairdresser and get unlocked or nothing. Like, I have natty dread. And people looking at me like, what did this cool girl, like, she don't understand what, she have pretty hair. Yeah. Why she did that to her head?
Boy, and it's come down to the whole thing that, I don't know, there's this shame that comes with not only not being a third world country, but being a country with majority black. And like, it's so like sad. It's so sad.
It's sad
that we can't have like a little, I don't know, the powers that be, I guess, feel as though it's not proper, or like anybody ever watch Rockers?
Yeah, I watch Rockers. Yeah.
Remember alright, Rockers, there's this section of Rockers, right? It's a movie from 1970s?
1970s, yeah.
And it has like all these great Jamaican musicians, right? And there's this scene where they're going to an uptown dance hall, and in the 70s, the uptown dance hall is playing disco, right? The rest of the country, downtown, them playing reggae music and dub, or what they call rockers, and uptown, they might play the American music, they might play disco and the Bee Gees and whatever, right? So then, you have two Rastas come into the uptown place and them run the DJ out of the booth and then put on some rockers, right? And like the people like it. You know what I'm saying? The people start dance up to it, and then the police come in and say, listen, what kind of boogie you got music you're playing at the place and And it's like, we're so, I don't, like, I think, like, people people love Jamaica, you know.
Yeah.
People love the culture. Like, people love locks. People love Rastafari. People love it. And it's like, we are ashamed to, like, admit that this is a part of who we are.
Yeah. No, because make no mistake, you know, dog. Rasta.
It's not even that we don't like it. It's just like we are trying to say, oh, it not look proper or something. But who said for look proper?
One thing I want to understand.
Say what look proper? As
in Jamaica.
It's proper. What are you talking about?
What do people like to say about the difference between patois and English? People don't call it standard English, you know. I call it standard English because that is what it is. It is the literal English language. It is the quote-unquote Queen's English when you're speaking English. What do they call it though? Proper English.
Yeah, it's not proper English. It's
standard.
just one variation of what it. Yeah.
Because the English was a dialect before it was a language. Just like patois is a dialect now. So I mean,
exactly,
how you supposed to?
because before they were saying thou art and thee and boom bam, and at one point, the English that we speaking now could have been seen as not proper.
Of course.
I want to know one thing I want to add to that. You agree that Rasta kind of pioneer everything that the world knows Jamaica for?
No, but it's true.
Exactly. How you leave them out of Jamaica
Rasta,
50?
dog.
How you supposed
Rasta
to do that?
pioneers, dog.
You're saying is the first Jamaican celebrity in a long time to be well known and not be part of either the Rasta movement or reggae culture. In terms of like really big, well known, like loved celebrity. Like, I mean, mind you, we've had the Elephant Man and the Shaggy and the Sean Paul, and they've been out there, you know, their names and their faces and everything, but they're not necessarily universally loved. Yeah. We haven't had celebrities who are universally loved, really, who are not Rastas, like outside of our athletes.
Yeah, that's true.
If you're not part of Rasta culture, you're at least part of reggae culture. Or people don't know that you're Jamaican. It's as simple as that. Like, you know, you have some TV, you know, stars from back in the day, from like the 80s and 90s, who got really popular, and people didn't know that they were Jamaican.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about Jamaican culture, when people are like, oh yeah, this is part of why I like Jamaican culture, this celebrity, that celebrity, this, you know, kind of music, they're talking about Rasta culture most of the time.
Yeah.
I think corporate Jamaica need to shut up.
True.
I don't think it's as simple as that though. Because I mean that corporations, unfortunately, are the driving force of the economy in this world. I mean, there's not, and it's kind of like a double-edged sword, because with them, you get their faces and their names and their logos printed friggin' everywhere, and it's like, leave me alone, I want to enjoy my little private corner of the world. But without them, everything turns to shit.
Yeah.
You know, we are part of the system, whether we like it or not.
No, well,
that's what drives the system.
Shit is relative, you know. Shit is relative.
Shit's pretty much shit.
I don't know.
No, wait, hold on.
If it's coming out the backside, right? Because that's the waste of your food, then it's probably
give me a match.
I think we kind of been spoiled a bit, because even Protege had this song about he was talking about Take Control, and where the parish where he's from. You know which parish he's from? St. Elizabeth. And basically him saying he grew up in like this farming community, right? Where basically in this little community, everybody was happy. Everybody had food, everybody grew food. You're hungry, you can go over your neighbor yard, isn't it? Everybody them trade food, and everybody, it was nice, you see me? And then the alumina companies come in and buy out all the land and move all the people out, and then dig up the place, and then nobody not live there anymore, and it basically mash up. Because after them done with the thing, them basically leave the land, and now you can't grow anything there anymore, and they mash up, right? I think we've been spoiled by Western culture so much that I think, like, I don't know. I'm saying that, like, we take for granted
the natural, that
electricity and stuff is not a given thing, as in they were talking about the solar flares the other day and what would happen because there was a big power outage in India. What would happen if the solar flare came and destroyed the turbines or whatever, and like we didn't have electricity on Earth for a while? What would we do? A lot of people would have got crazy.
I'm sorry, I would lose my mind. I couldn't even really take it the other day when the island-wide black hole came around. I was just like, wait, what am I going to do for the next 4 hours?
And that's kind of sad because I remember when I went through my first hurricane. Which one was that? Hurricane Ivan?
You know it's going to happen when a hurricane comes through, and you know it's going to happen. That's one thing.
I'm talking about afterwards, because I'm talking about because I didn't have electricity for like a month after that. And honestly, I mean, yeah, you miss TV and stuff for the first couple of days and you kind of itching. But then afterwards, like, you kind of get into the vibe.
If you go like a month
and then
with
like
it or
come back,
something,
you kind
a
of
little different than if you don't see it coming and the light is gone for a few hours. Like,
yeah, no, but I mean, I'm just talking about after a little while, you'd get used to it and you get back into the thing. And it's like, we take for granted like our natural resources and things that we have in nature, that we have this Western ideal living thing in our heads, and anything other than that is not good, is not nice.
Okay, so my thing about that is that while I agree with you,
but I'm saying
I agree with you that we do take advantage of the fact that all around us is this natural habitat that we are not familiar with in this day and age. Fair enough. But we're saying that over a conversation that we're having on Skype.
Yeah.
Go ahead and
I know.
I
don't agree. It's not. That was
because
Nikki, honestly, Nikki still. That point kind of set me off a while. Because here's my thing. You get me? In this world, there are certain things that I think that come forward that really become like an international staple. You get me? They come forward really for the better. There's a lot of things that come out in this world nowadays like that come forward that really and truly mankind might have been better off without. You get me? But there's some things that come forward that show, like even Charlie Chaplin said it in that speech, like there's certain things that that shows the good and the good intentions of mankind. You get me?
Yeah.
Like Skype's origins, Skype is a free software that you can use to contact people, you get me?
I'm not talking down Skype. I'm just talking about in terms of technology
get me right
now. It is run by corporation.
No, wait, hold on. Get me right
Let me finish for a second. What I'm trying to say, you look to the Western world, which is what Ikem is saying. Look to the Western world in terms of a lot of the things that we see right now. Whereas if it's not this Western mentality and we take a lot of things for granted, what I'm literally saying is that there's a lot of things that we have in our society right now that we think that we can't do without and
Exactly, and it's that.
And if you really look at it, we're to strip it down, like really strip it down and get rid of it. There are certain things that if we kept and we stripped out a whole bunch of other shit, would probably be way better off. I'm not saying you get rid of everything, because if you put some curry on a shirt, you can wash your shirt, but you never can fully get rid of the curry. You get me?
Yeah.
Wash the shirt because the shirt dirty. You see me? It's a dirty shirt. You need to wash it. And you try your best to get one, and then whatever is left behind is just so. You get me? But in my opinion, it's like a lot of what we have right now, and it's not everything, is negative Western world influence. A lot of what we have. Yeah. Look at things like Skype, however. You get me?
Yeah, Skype is a good thing.
You said it to me, Nikki, like, it really tripped me out, because it's something I thought about even the other day. Like, I was like, I look at this thing, you get me? And I'm like, look at this thing. You don't pay for this. But look at the actual telephone. They run the wires, they're in the ground, they're in the ground. They're like, on these poles, you get me? And you have to pay a crap load to just be connected. They have a satellite dish and you have to pay a crap load to just be connected. You get me? Why? I'm saying, why do you have to pay a crap load of money to be connected? And that's a Western world mentality. You have something that people are going to need, so you charge them.
Dude, Cuba, dog.
It's ridiculous.
Cuba, hold on there. Cause I was thinking about it the other day, and I was praying, I'm not bashing I'm not. Let me get it right. I'm not bashing corporate organizations. I'm not bashing the whole monetary system or anything. I'm not saying
I would bash the monetary system. To me, that is where the problem lies. Not so much in the idea that things need to be monitored and separated, as much as the monetary system is flawed.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Because I mean, I was thinking about it just the other day. I was like, we have money, right? But then, what is money really? As in, what are the numbers in your bank account? What is that really saying? As in, we send this private company send like some send the first the first private company to send a rocket to the space station. The other day, it was a private company, and I was preying it and I was saying, so you don't have to be a part of the government to go into space. And I praying it and I saying, Jano, as in the world isn't built on money, nature isn't built on money, as in a lot of the stuff that we're doing, if people, if somebody come today, if there was a president of the world, that the president of the world said, we're doing away with money today, everybody just take care of your neighbor, you see me, if you grow, share your food and boom bam bum, and do whatever you can and just barter. If the barter system, it was a bartering system in place instead of a monetary system, as in we could still be running in a, like, the world wouldn't go to crap, it wouldn't be like, there wouldn't be any civilization anymore, we would survive. It's not like I think people have this thing, and it's because the system is flawed, that if you don't have any money, you're basically dead. If you're destitute, you're going to die, because you can't buy food and you can't do this and you can't do that.
It goes back to that funny saying that, like, human beings are the only things on planet Earth that pay to live here. We pay.
Exactly, but that's not the case. If me destitute today, if for some reason I don't know, I can't support myself and I'm destitute, best believe, so I go
up in the hills and plant some corn and boom bam,
You know what I'm saying? Lie down on the street corner, big change,
No,
I always say, but also I would head to the hill. I'd head to the country, straight out of Kingston. Exactly. You just die in Kingston. That don't make no sense.
I think it's so sad, because I'm saying, bring back to my point, I'm saying that we have all these Western ideals and they're implanted in us, and it's like, if anything is outside of that, we deem it bad or not proper or whatever, when that is not the case. And I think that's why, like even my thing, like that's why I love, like, the DIY culture. When people take stuff, like, I love that, the fact that, I can't afford this right now, but it's something that, would be beneficial to me, so let me make it. What would you do if you were living in the 1800s, when them used to make them knives and, I would love to live in them time there and make my own stuff, You make your own shoes and, you see me, you go out and you...
And that's the racism, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, let's go back to those days.
No. If we could, like, erase that part of it and just go back to the ways of... But yeah, anyway, yeah.
How about, instead of trying to erase the racism of the past, we try and do that now, in addition to making things better right now?
That people started right here. Let's do it. Man. That. Just really. And then it comes back like there's a lot of ignorance, There's a lot of ignorance. And it's like this whole thing where we depend so much on the computer that we can't do anything for ourselves anymore. Like I've had people ask me how to do things, and I could be like, you can Google it, you see me?
Can I tell you how many times in life I've actually said that to somebody and I don't realize how bad it is until I step back and go, wait, what if it wasn't a Google?
Exactly, but there's a part of me that thinks to figure it out myself. Like, there's sometimes when I have a problem, and I will be like, I gotta figure out this out. I'm not gonna look on Google, I figure this out myself. You see me? And trust me, it's a good feeling when you figure out how to do something by yourself. When you just use the senses, you know, that you have, and just, you know, go into survival mode, and you just say, alright, boom, 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 and you make it happen. Like, I think if people had more of that experience, if people did more of that, like, people would feel better about themselves. And you wouldn't have so much people being depressed and just, you know, on Facebook all the time. I'm bored. I don't know what to do. Go out into nature, you know, read a book. I don't know.
I really will never understand in my life this whole idea of you being on the computer going, I'm bored. If you're bored and you're on the computer talking about how bored you are in the wrong place. You do not understand how the internet works, because there are so many things to occupy your time with on the internet that if you're bored and you're on the internet, you shouldn't be on the computer. You should go outside and find something to do, because this is not the place for you.
That's a completely different argument.
That happened to me once. You know what happened? I realized that the internet connection had timed out. On the internet. Sunday was because the internet connection timed out. And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
It's kind of
My point is just that you need to get out of the house if you've gotten to the point where your brain has slowed down
and
so much because you're depending on go outside. Even if you're not going out on the beach or you're going out into country, into like direct nature, just step outside into your yard, sit down in your yard for like, okay, let's say you live in an apartment complex, walk down the street, like just take a breath for a good half an hour to an hour, free your mind a little bit, come back inside if you need to come back inside. But obviously you've gotten yourself to the point where you're a little too dependent on whatever the computer or television is giving you. If you are now sitting down in front of your computer, on the internet, which is the most expansive place of entertainment and education.
Whoa.
Of entertainment and education that you can probably, if you are bored of it, no. Because you've been, the only way I can think that you've gotten bored of the internet is if you've been on it too long. And you've found every website that you can think of to find. In that case, get up, go outside and do something.
Yeah.
And this is coming from somebody who rarely ever goes outside of her own field. But I will do it if I find myself bored on the internet.
Oi. Yo. Alright, we should wrap up this.
Dude.
Probably.
So we'll talk for like 2 hours though. No, not 2 hours yet, but yeah. Oh yes, Matthew.
Like, dude, I'm seeing this thing that Puma's put up, dog. Or, by the way, when you you most likely are going to see like a thing is going to come up. Hold on. No, it's alright. Everything good. I'm just saying this picture, dog, that Puma did. Like, they redid the Jamaican flag.
Zine?
So good, dog. I don't know why dog, this thing represents our country so much, I swear. And it's really for Usain Bolt, to be honest with you, but like honestly, dog, it really should be the flag, I swear.
Yeah, boy. Oh, well, I mean, yeah, like sound system culture, it looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, this is.
Because like, have you ever seen like the jersey for the Olympic team? Like, it has like the big PO sign on the back, like the comic book PO.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Like, even sound system culture. As in, that's Jamaican, you know.
Yeah, that really is.
I never ever, like, and that was like a kind of discovery for me, like, going to Edna when I started looking into Jamaican culture. But, like, because I always see sound boxes and stuff, and, like, they look, I mean, it seems like a Jamaican thing, but you never really think about it in terms of, you see me, when in the time when before DJs could get them songs played on the radio, you had the sound system, and that was the people's voice, basically. That's how people come and you toast at a session or something, and that's sound system culture, isn't it? And that's Jamaican.
Yeah, for real.
even hip hop, like hip hop is a direct descendant of dub and toasting and Jamaican toasting, as in enough people don't know that.
True, very, very true, very, very, very true.
I mean,
crazy, man.
The way I see it, knowing about it isn't going to change anything if you don't let it affect, the way you behave somehow.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You can be as educated as you want. Like, people like to throw around this idea that the reasons why Jamaicans can behave so ignorantly and everything is because they're uneducated, and this isn't necessarily true.
Not true at all.
The problem isn't always that you're not educated in the literal form, in terms of you haven't been taught. The problem is you're not taking the information and doing something with it.
Look, as in, there are a lot of illiterate Jamaicans that are way more Jamaican than some of Jamaican scholars. Yeah, and it's it's a part of the whole culture. Like, that's why I was talking about people in Kingston is like it's kind of diluted and like hybridized and whatever, because we don't go outside and we don't go into like even we were talking about Peter Dean Rickards the other day, and how he just goes downtown and goes to the dances and like goes into the country and finds all these people and these interesting places and stuff that a lot of Kingstonians probably will never see, because they'll never step outside of their little bubble, their little westernized bubble.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
And it's very sad.
They'll do it at charity events and then put on their best patois, but yeah. So dude, you know what happened today? Like today, I literally went down to Manor Park. And what happened was that I was gonna get some food. Yeah. But I just went and I saw this coconut man, so I stopped and I was like, alright, with that coconut. And I saw a pan chicken man, so I was like, oh, right, pan chicken. Yeah. I went up and this guy came over, this older guy, looked like him in his 50s, Rastafarian guy. Yeah. And I see him pull out him table and put him tablecloth over the little table, you see me, and him lay out him foil, you see me, and him put him cutting board on top of the foil, and him take out the tools and everything, and then him pepper and him ketchup, and then him take the top part of the foil and fold it over the cutting board to cover it, so it's not going and thing. And I looked at it and I said, Jesus Christ, like this man, this man been doing this for years. So I struggled with him and I was like, yo, how long you been here? His name is Wani. And he's normally out by the gas station by Manor Park, the Shell station. Okay. So I was like, yo, how long you been here? And the man said 34 years.
Wow.
Because doing pan chicken on that side of the road and the other side of the road for 34 years. He was there before Manor Park was there. And I was like I stopped and I looked at him and I was in complete disbelief. Like, this is a part of our, you see that pan chicken?
Yeah, dude, pan chicken.
Dude, the fact that somebody decided, like, dog, in other countries, to have this a roadside shop like that, is unheard of. It's taboo. It should be a national taboo.
But I go through the Jamaican streets like every day, and I actually asked my mom about this once, because it's not that I have a problem with small stores. I like small stores. I like buying from small stores and supporting people who have small businesses. But sometimes I'm just curious, I stopped and I asked, did these people ever try and make their stores any bigger? Do they try and build up the store any, or do they just leave it there to be this size and then pass it on at that size for the next generation to own a small business? Almost like, the majority of them don't really grow any bigger because they like being a small business. I was just like, well, there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, bigger businesses do better for the country a little bit sometimes, but both are good because we have a lot of small businesses.
I think Western culture has also inked like this whole, and don't get me wrong, corporate Jamaica, we need corporate Jamaica, like,
of course,
me? But like capitalism,
it's not for choice, it's not that we want it,
Yeah, no, but like capitalism.
There is a way for it to be good without it going so far. Because I mean, you shouldn't necessarily. I'm not saying that you are, but a lot of people throw around the word capitalism very freely when they're talking about corporations, and it's not fair to do that because not all companies that are just trying to build themselves are buying into this whole idea that you have to be a big company and you have to shove corporations down people's throats for it to work.
That's not really what capitalism is, though.
No, but like look at this.
I'm not saying it is, but
look at this, right? Digicel, right, has done more for Jamaica, like supporting Jamaican events and culture events than the government has. Like they have Digital Rising Stars. You see all those shops in Halfway Tree, them sponsor all those shops and them set up the things so them have the roof and whatever, and it's still the people they still all own their stars. All those people own their stars. It's basically them just put them Digital just put them advertisement on them stars, basically. Them just buy them some stars and thing, and I mean that's good. I think it goes bad when it's like corporations, they get so big that they just eat away at the little guys. They just slowly just suffocating them until all them just gone and them just basically running them out of the place. Like Jamaicans are like, you have a whole heap of entrepreneurs in Jamaica, and they don't even call it entrepreneurs. Them call it like them go up on a little hustle, right? But I mean that's what it is. People turn them hand and them say, "Oh,
everybody that I know in this country has hustled a little bit at some point in time. Everybody."
And like, I think it's a part of how we, cause like like in Africa, right? Like how they have the community pot. Like in Africa when them eat food, it's a community event. It's not like you sit down in your house and one family. I mean, not necessarily everywhere, but usually it's like a thing where you cook and it's like a community come together and them eat. Right? As in, I think that kind of culture has like retained a little bit if it was a part of our African ancestry, but like I think it retained a little bit because even that thing with young cartoonists, like, that's insane, I'm sure that if you went to America or somewhere, that you probably wouldn't find a lot of places where that would happen. Somebody, you just drive on some stranger and say, "Yo, can watch the race?" And it's like, "Hey, buddy, I don't know you, man. Like even that thing in New York. Like New York scares me to hell, Like that story about even that story, that old guy, was it like an old guy trying to cross the street and him get hit down or something, and like people just walking past him because them don't want to touch him because it would be like a liability or something, I don't know, like they afraid to get sued or something. I don't know, like that kind of living, what kind of life that I live, kind of life that. And in Jamaica, like, say what you want to say about Jamaicans and being patriotic and whatever, but I assure you that Jamaicans are some of the friendliest, welcoming people in the world. You know what I'm saying? People invite people into their homes all the time, because that's not the first time I'm hearing about stuff like that. You see me? Especially in the country. Like, you see me, like, kids growing up and, the neighbor, you don't have any food at your yard, you just go over your neighbor yard and them give you a little thing, and you see me, and it's like a community. Everybody just look out for each other.
What?
That's just something that should be stretched across the board in Jamaica, like I've been saying from like the very beginning of the conversation. Like that's that kind of community feeling is something that should be there everywhere. All the time. And it shouldn't just be this time of year.
Yeah.
And another thing is just that this is the 50th celebration, so of course it's big O, and broader, and we have the convenience of it going on at the same time as the Olympics, where Bolt is winning like everything.
Yeah.
So know that we have this here for the next 50 years until we reach our centennial celebration. What are we going to do with ourselves?
True. But my pre say everybody just need for just
circle themselves.
You know
what I'm saying?
But yeah, if we had a couple more, I was saying it, and it's kind of sad a little bit, but I mean it's probably like a necessary sadness. But I mean maybe we just need a little more, some more Bob Marleys and some more Bolts and some more, for just stretch out in the world and just make us say, yeah, we'll make an impact in the world, maybe then, everybody are gonna grow up and them,
I get you, man.
Everybody gonna grow up being proud of, of being Jamaican,
True, very true.
Alright, so final words, make us wrap this up. We'll go hard tonight. Final words from everybody.
I have to big up my baby mother.
Oh no.
Sorry.
No. Anybody?
I think if anything, I have to say just honestly, I would implore people to recognize the fact that there's a lot of patriotism going on right now in the celebration, but please do not be fooled. I think you really cannot buy into these companies. Whenever they stop celebrating, you stop celebrating, because all that happens is that everything changes with the seasons, and they can just say, alright, cool, that FIFA done now, let's start working on other stuff and get people fully immersed in this thing. Like if we as a nation really are really saying, yo guys, no, if you're not coming to us with something that we can relate to, we're not dealing with it. Like if you don't allow, like if you allow them to just sweep in different directions and make you buy into things just because of you're really
the hype.
Yeah, I think it's gonna mash up everything. You see me? To be honest with you, so even after this year, just please remember that this year a lot of companies had to really come good with them things, because really and truly they had to, and don't have a standard in the list for anything else. You get me?
Yeah. And
please keep patriotism.
I think maybe my last word on it would be Jamaica at large. When you find that you're in a situation where you need somebody to sponsor a thing, not necessarily saying that you should deny American companies or UK companies or whatever from sponsoring, like you deny them sponsorship or anything, but the name that really should be out there, really should be publicized, really should be advertised to buy from, should be a Jamaican company when what they are sponsoring is supposed to be centered around Jamaica.
Yeah, don't buy KFC.
In the case of Jamaica 50, KFC sponsoring Jamaica 50 is a ludicrous idea because they are not a Jamaican company. If they were sponsoring, it's like KFC holds their carnival every year, the KFC carnival to go along with Juve, to go along with Bacchanal and that kind of thing. Okay. Yeah, they've had it for a couple years now, the KFC Juve, and their paint is always pink. I don't know. But, I mean, if that's what they want to do, that's fine.
Yeah.
They have their sponsored events, and they have, different things that go on throughout the year that they're part of, and different things that we allow them to be part of as a Jamaica
50 is
I just feel like Jamaican 50 should be somewhere where Jamaican companies are welcome. Advertise your Jamaican companies,
Yeah.
Appleton did this huge thing this year where they had a 5,000 US bottle of rum that was, on display at the Jamaica 50 celebration. And only people who went to the celebration and came back home knew about it. But everybody knew that KFC was sponsoring the event. Why is that?
Yeah.
They had that bottle up there curing from like independence time from 50 years ago. They've been carrying the battle for this celebration. But only the people who went to the celebration and came back could tell you that. Whereas anybody who was walking around the streets could tell you that KFC was sponsoring the celebration. And that, to me, is sad.
I mean, alright. Taj, final words.
Let's not get caught up into the because it's Jamaica Christmas right now, it seems.
Yeah.
It seems like a giant Christmas celebration. You know, it gets very materialistic, it gets very commercial.
Yeah.
So I mean, amongst all that, I think people just kind of need to remember the real essence, you know. I think people need to also not get too comfortable, because I think the thing is about a celebration, about celebrating something is people kind of get comfortable in the idea of achieving something when we still have a lot more to achieve, you know, a lot more to do, you know. So I don't want people to get too comfortable in the idea of celebrating this independence. I think people kind of need to look at, you know, everything else that needs to be done. Yeah, it's all good and well that we'll have our athletes winning all these things, and we'll have all our all this you know, our medals and everything going on, but we kind of need to look at the internal, like the country as an internal, and like what's going on within the actual country, you know, like the things that need to be fixed there, and you know, things that people need to be doing there. So I think we need to kind of still, you know, be vigilant, you know what I'm saying, and not be swayed by, you know, all of the glitz and the glam. Just kind of still remember, you know, what we need to do, you know, the things that we need to accomplish.
Definitely.
That's my, and just second on themselves, see.
Second on
Agreed.
Listen, patriotism isn't an American thing. It's an everybody's thing. Zine, and everybody need to go so boom, and everybody need to look upon their neighbor and say, neighbor, you know what I'm saying? And just look out for you. Just look out for no one another, and don't, you know.
I mean, because this is Jamaica, everything that I like touches is our kingdom.
So we need for just look out for one another. You know what I'm saying? Support Jamaican products. I know sometimes it's rough, because some of them don't look too nice, but support them anyway. You see me? And if you can make it better, make it better. You see me? And don't buy into this whole thing about if it's not, you know, American is not good. Because people love Jamaica, you see me? So you love it too. That's my 2 cents on the thing. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So that's it for this podcast. It's a long one. But until next time, talking with Ikem Smith here, Taj Francis, we have Nikki Green, we have Matthew McCarthy.
Alright.
This is the Side Interviews podcast, you know what I'm saying? Boom bam.